Coming up next, I'm giving y'all a story straight out of Memphis, Tennessee, y'all. And well, you're just gonna have to stay tuned to find out what a troubled teen went through before he ended up in prison. Coming up next on the Prison Talk Show. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. Now, I got an interesting story for y'all today. It's about a youth. 16-year-old Brian was very troubled. And I don't know, y'all. Get in the comment box and tell me what y'all think. Do you think Brian might just have been a product of his environment? Or it was the fact that it was a single family home? I don't know. Get in the comment box. Listen up. Tell me what y'all think. Excuse me, y'all. So, Brian, he was the type of guy that he was with whatever. He was with the drama. He was with the beef. It didn't matter to him. He was just that type of guy that he wanted to be in the mix. He liked to hang in the hood. You know, Memphis, Tennessee ain't no joke. He liked to hang around with the GDs and get into, little bullshit in the hood. Like, he was out there hustling $20 bags of dog food and, running up in the bodegas and snatching stuff and running out and bullying the kids in the neighborhood, that was his age and younger. But, Brian, he played with them things. He hung out with the gang members, like I said, so he had easy access to all of that stuff. Now, Brian, he didn't have the best upbringing. Like I said, his dad hadn't been in the picture for a very, very long time. It was just him and his sister and his mom. Excuse me. Now, it was some nights that they ain't have dinner. It was some nights that, they just had to cover up with as much cover as they could because the heat wasn't on. Because they couldn't pay the damn electric bill. Brian came from a very impoverished family. And that, if you ask me, made him tough. It made him tough, y'all. It made him know that ain't nobody gonna help him but him. And he got that in his head. At 16 years old, Brian don't want to go to school. He'd rather cut school and hang out in the corner. He getting more money on that corner than he ever would finishing high school. So, Brian thought it was fun to run from the cops and, act up, rob people, scare people. He didn't care if you was old, young. If you had something he wanted, he was running down on you. He didn't even know about wearing a mask, y'all. So he's just going around committing crimes and felonies and leaving fingerprints, all types of stuff, y'all. He's just doing the most. But he doesn't get caught. Nah, Brian just keeps on, doing his thing. And now, Brian, he's really trying to get into the GDs. But they're telling him, he's a little young to be a full-fledged member. They let him hang around. They let him learn. But we can't really put you out there to do no work just yet. You're too young. We don't want that on us if, you get knocked off doing something stupid you shouldn't have. Now, like I said, Brian's a hard-headed little sucker. He wasn't trying to hear none of that. He started trying to think of any way that he could possibly get in, and they would have to let him in. If he could put some work in on his own, and they would have to let him in. So he would just be thinking, days would be going by, and he doing his normal stuff, hustling and petty crimes in the neighborhood, beating people up and pulling his joint out and, putting it up to some of the kids' heads and scaring them and stuff and all types of crazy stuff. Then he thought, you know what? Maybe I can make my own gang inside of the gang. He was going to find the toughest 16-year-olds that he could find in the neighborhood and recruit them. Recruit them for the GDs. So now, let alone from the fact that he's going to plan a huge thing himself, he's going to recruit his own members. Hopefully, this gets their attention and they run with it and they don't take it as disrespect. So he said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a subset. We're going to be the GD 2010s. This happened way back. So now, he going around the hood, y'all. He having backyard fights. He passing the word along. Tell everybody, if they want to get down, they got to come through. I got to see what they got. Now, he got about 20 young boys in the neighborhood, but he only trying to take about 15. So, rounds of elimination. They got to get in there and square up against each other. He got to see their heart. He got to see what they're willing to do, how much work they're willing to put in. And, he watching, y'all. He's watching intently because he needs to know who's going to be his second in command, who's going to be his pop-off boys, who's going to be his muscle, who's going to be his soldiers. He needs to know all of that beforehand. So he's watching. And they going at it, y'all. These young boys, they actually don't seem like none of them scared. They going back and forth, throwing the hands. Bat, 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 bat. Switch. Bat, bat, bat. They just switching. Don't care who they fighting. They just switching. Even if they friends. Bam! Sock him in the eye. Boop. Boop. Yeah. Boop. They letting them see his work. They work. So, Brian made his decision. Chopped the 5 dudes he didn't want on the team. He said, all right, not this time. I'm going to give y'all another chance to recruit with the next 20 recruits. But these are going to be the first 15 I'm going to take with me to the GDs. And if this goes well, trust me, there's going to be more initiations. So don't feel bad y'all didn't make it this time, but trust me, I got y'all. Stay loyal. And they all, everybody walked away. I respect. And that's just what it was. And all of the new members, he started teaching them the rules. And, he couldn't teach them too much because it was only but so much that they taught him because of something like this. You can't just go around teaching laws and rules to non-members. That's excommunicado. So he taught them what he knew, and pretty much what he taught them was pretty much a blessing from the GDs, or it's like you got the blessing to learn. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into that, but that's just what that was. So now all these dudes are following his footsteps. They doing what he do. And Brian, for the most part, do what the GDs do. He keep it legit and he play his part. He tells them what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do. And right now, he's not allowed to put in real work. That means go out there in them streets and hit somebody up. That's a no-no because of his age. That's a no-no. But what he is allowed to do is hustle dog food, petty crimes like running up in the stores, bullying kids for their lunch money, even adults if they come through. Now y'all got numbers. They gonna bully adults. They got numbers. Now we ain't talking about no small kids. These 16-year-olds is big. I don't know if y'all noticed out here in the streets, they eating cornbread and I don't know what else, oatmeal or something, because these 16-year-olds are giants. So that's what they start doing. Now the whole time, Brian is devising his plan. He said he knows a place where he can get a whole truckload of sneakers, all different sizes, all different brands. And I'm like, where? Where y'all think? The mall. Word, how we gonna get that? He like, listen, I know somebody that works in the mall, and they told me all deliveries go around back. It's a truck entrance. Now, all we have to do is plot, stake out the mall truck entrances, figure out when does Foot Locker get their deliveries. So these kids ain't got nothing to do. They don't go to school. They ain't got nothing to do but hide out all day in the bushes. And that's what they did, y'all. They just plotted and sat from all different angles of the mall so they could see when these trucks get off the highway, when they enter the parking lot, when they come into the dock, how much time they got between the highway and the loading dock to actually interact with the truck, all that. So they writing everything down. They figuring it out. He got a plan, y'all. They are gonna go intercept the truck and bounce right back to the highway. So the plan was not to let the truck get too far past the highway. And when they were watching, they noticed that the trucks come early in the morning, which is good for them because it's still dark out. The cover of dark helps a lot when you got somebody pulled over to the side of the road. They got to figure out a plan to get this guy stopped and out of the truck. That's the plan, y'all. Get him on the side of the road, pull him out of the truck. We're going to take the truck and we're going to handcuff him to the vehicle that we leave behind, which would be a stolen vehicle. So he starts, making his roundabouts and checking the areas out and scenery and make sure he knows the getaway route and he knows exactly what highway they're going to take. He knows exactly how many miles away they need to be before they change direction and split up. He knows exactly what he has to do to get into the gang now. He's going to steal that truck full of sneakers and he's going to hit the whole gang off. The whole hood with Nikes, Adidas, all of that, y'all. Jordans, Air Forces. He going to lace the whole gang. They going to have no choice but to accept him in if he gets away with this. At least that's what he thinking. They got to let him in. And then he got his whole gang with him now. They got to let them in too. And everybody got to come through the proper way. So he like, I bet. No more talk. Let's get to it. Y'all want this shit? Let's get to it. After the pep talk was done, they was all ready to work. So they start heading out. Everybody ran off into their separate locations where they supposed to be. Everybody got a place to be and a part to play. If it's not like that, your game falls apart. So, now I know y'all didn't think Brian was going to play the backseat and let his boys put all the work in. Oh, nah. Brian was up front and center. Him, along with one of his other associates, they committed the first crime. First, they had to get the car, the vehicle that they was going to use for this interception. And well, they went around the mall, caught somebody slipping. Old man was going to his car, snatched him real quick. Give me them keys, old man. And they weren't playing no games, y'all. They put him in the trunk. They was like, if they let him go, he gonna go tell. And they needed a little bit of time to get this off. They couldn't, risk him going to tell. So they put the old man in the trunk. Took the car. Alright, boom. Headed on out to the back. Now, they set up. They in place already. Everybody else, they watching on the other side. Although there's cameras here, they don't care. They have one objective, y'all, excuse me. Get that truck by any means necessary. Now, at least 3 of them are strapped up, including Brian. And Brian himself is a little hothead. But he not gonna fail, y'all. At least that's what he telling himself. He will not fail. Brian goes ahead, parks the car right in the back where he can see, from the bushes where you can't see coming forward. You can't see his car. So that when a truck comes forward, he gonna speed right up in front of the truck. Even if the truck hit the car, boom, be a little love tap. But the truck gonna stop. That's where Brian and his boy get out the car and act like they investigating the damage. See what's wrong with it. And hopefully the truck driver will get out the truck himself and they don't have to go over to the door and pull him out. But you never know. You never know what twist could lie when you doing crime. This is a good place, a good segue to tell y'all. Listen, if you out there in the streets, you young, you just fucking around, I hear you. You want to have fun. You don't want nobody telling you what to do. Don't end up going to prison for something you trying to be that you don't really want to be. I hope that ain't fly over your head. Don't go to jail over being a gangster. Because what you are at 25 and 26 and 27 years old, that might not be what you want to be at 45 and 55 and 65. So don't let, what's going on now cloud your mind about the future. You still have a bright future out there. And I hope it doesn't take a jail bid for most of y'all to get it. Stop with all the crime, y'all. Stop it. It's not worth going to jail and wasting your whole life. Yeah, you get points and respect and you the hardest, but what do all that matter after you go do 15, 20, and 25 years in jail? What was it all for? If you haven't already, drop a comment, hit the like button, and please subscribe before you leave today. Thank you in advance. All right, back to it. Now, Brian saw his chance. He saw the truck approaching. And as the truck came down the road slowly, Brian pulled on out into the intersection. Right in front of him. Bumper just missed the side door. Now they get out. And they look and they're like, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? You speeding and shit. You speeding. He like, what you doing jumping out like that? He said, well, you ain't even gonna get out and look at the damage? He's like, man, I got a delivery to make, man. I don't got time for that. Because, the truck drivers, they don't be caring. They bumpers is hard. They boom. They hit you and keep moving. That's why they call them trucks. Keep on trucking. So, Brian's like, oh, no, F that. F that. You got to come check this shit out. We got to get insurance information. Nah. So, dude acting like, he ain't trying to budge. Brian starts heading on over to the truck. Mind you, he got his piece right in the back, in the small of his back. And he walking over there slow, and he watching. And then now, as he get up to the door, he see the door is locked. And he trying to open the truck door. And dude like, yo, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm telling you, you better get out of here. Now, as he's screaming, dude in the truck, he's reaching for a shotgun. He got a double-barrel shotgun in the truck. And he's trying to get to it. Now, as Brian's looking through the window, he sees dude reaching for that double barrel. So immediately, his instincts told him to straight up just break the window. And that's what he did. He took the butt of that thing. He leaned this way. Bang! Bang! Got that door open. Yanked him up. So he couldn't reach that thing anymore. Yanked him up real good and started shaking him around the truck. Boom! 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 Dude like, hey man, what you doing, man? What? Boom! Brian is beating the brakes off him with that handle. Bang! 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 Now, like I said, y'all, Brian was a hothead. And he was already pissed off that he had to go this far. Breaking a window. He's like, oh, nah, heck no. Nah, heck no. He definitely got to go. He definitely got to go. I was going to leave you with the old man, but nah. Now I think he definitely needs to leave this earth. And the other dude like, hey man, we ain't talk about, unaliving nobody. You just said, you wanted to do this and that. He like, yo, is you trying to get down or what? Is you trying to get on the set or what? Because you sound real suspect right now. And dude like, whoa, I'm down. What you need me to do? I'm down. They're like, all right. First thing I'm going to need you to do is drop his body in the river. He's like, his body? He's still alive. Not for long. Whoa. Dude just backed up and was like, all right. And truck driver like, wait, what you mean? What you mean? Dude, give me your keys. Give me all your keys. And your wallet. What you need my wallet for? I need your address. I need to know where I gotta go in case anybody come looking for me. You're like, well, why would somebody come looking for you? Bat. That's why. Ask another stupid question, get another stupid answer. And pretty soon the truck driver realized he was in danger. He took it as a joke when he saw these two young boys. But not only the fact that he brandished hard steel paws, he put paws on that man, lefts and right. I mean, and that come from scrapping, y'all. Brian wasn't no punk. Brian get down. So, the truck driver decided he was going to try Brian. He said, how tough could this kid be? He looked like he young. And Brian saw it in his eyes. And he was waiting. He was waiting for him to bounce. Come on with it. Come on with it. Because Brian, he had demons in him, y'all. Brian had an itchy finger. And he been waiting. I told y'all he been trying to get down. But they wouldn't let him put no work in, y'all. They wouldn't let him put no work in. So he had been waiting to put some real work in. And the minute that truck driver lunged toward him, he pulled that thing out. Pow, 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 pow. He put about 5 in him. Laid him out. Yeah, y'all. Brian just earned his stripes. Now all we gotta do is get away with it. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. It wasn't supposed to go this far. But now, Brian gotta deal with it. And old boy that stood there and watched, he gonna have to answer some questions too. Now, Brian immediately turned his joint toward old boy and said, "You got this, right? You got this, right?" Yeah. I'm gonna dump him in the river. I'm gonna dump him in the river. I got this. I don't want no problems. This can't come back at all. Like, I bet. And then he looked back. He said, "Hey, yo, do the old man too. No, we no witnesses. Do the old man too." And he like, I bet. So, old boy would drive off. He got the old man in the trunk. He opened it up, threw the, let's say, the body in the trunk with him. And he drove on off, y'all. He drove on off to the lowest part where he could reach the river. Pulled the old man out, handcuffed him to that body. Then he handcuffed the other hand to his foot. Tied them together real good with some rope. Put a cinder block between it. And he kicked them on over the ledge, y'all. And he just said, I did what I was supposed to do. I just did what I was supposed to do. And I guess that guy really believed that. Another misled youth, y'all, who just committed his first unaliving, which probably won't be his last. But ultimately, he just ruined his life. Now, they would get away with the truck full of sneakers. Everybody, in the hood, like, dang, they really got that joint off. Yeah, they got it off, but nobody had any clue what was to come. Nobody had any clue that Brian, their newest member, had just attracted heavy law enforcement. And now they were all on the radar. Yep. Just because of this one guy, now all the GDs were being watched by law enforcement. Scrutinized even more than before. Now they're looking to find out, well, what connection do they have to the nonsense that he's got going on? Because somebody just got unalived. 2 people got unalived. And everybody seems to be wearing brand new sneakers. I mean, crispy joints. Police walking through the neighborhood and they see everybody wearing new joints. Even the homeless people got on new joints. So, I bet y'all wondering, well, what happened? What happened to Brian? What happened to his boy? I'm gonna get to it, y'all. Just hit that like button for me. I'm getting to it. And I hope you subscribe. So, the only reason they found out about the unaliving was because the rope that they used was some regular rope from, like, a regular convenience store. After a few days in the water and being exposed to the elements and the heavy weight of the cinder block, the rope gave way and popped. And well, it did its job of unaliving the old man. Truck driver was already gone. But it didn't keep them down. So they both floated right on up to the top. And well, somebody found them when they was out for a swim on their vacation. And the rest is history, y'all. So, when it was said and done, everything pointed back to Brian. Think about it, y'all. He gave out so many pairs of sneakers. Everybody said the same thing. We got them from Brian. We got them from Brian. Yeah, Brian was a superstar. He was a hood celebrity, y'all. And that is exactly what led him to his conviction. Life imprisonment. 16 years old, facing life imprisonment. What do? Get in the comment box, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about that. 16 years old, facing life imprisonment. His boy, exactly the same thing. Life imprisonment. 16 years old. What do you do? Alright, y'all. With that, that's gonna wrap this story up. And I hope you got something out of this. I really hope, young people, you got something out of this and not just sitting here talking from my house. Get at your boy. This is the Prison Talk Show. I'm out.